How do I? Okay. So, oh. Hi, good morning. Hi, Maddie's mom. Just trying to figure it out. How are you this morning? Do you have your coffee? Are you homeschooling? Taking a break? Hi. Okay, let me see. Is this it? I don't know. Is that good? I gotta figure it out. Figure it out. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so this morning, maybe for the next week, just until I don't feel like talking about it anymore, we're going to be talking about sale. So, welcome and good morning. This is Mondays with Miss Cotton, your homeschooling homegirl. I am trying to figure this out. Let me figure this out, guys, because I figured it out. Go ahead and type your questions if you have any questions about homeschooling, of course. Let me know, how's it going. The topic I want to talk about is social emotional learning. No matter how old your learner is, I want to talk about how important it is that we promote social emotional learning. And of course, I found the perfect tool for you to use with your little ones. All right. I think that this tool is okay for a 4 or 5-year-old. You're going to have to do a lot of modeling. And I think that this tool is good up until about age 11, 12, just because of the graphics and just because once they move into that next developmental stage, they're going to need a little bit more to express themselves. But otherwise, I think that this is the perfect tool. So if you're already on Whatnot, the cool thing is you can just pop right into the store, and if you catch me live, you're going to be able to purchase everything you see in the store for a lower price. If you're watching on a different platform, then you just scan the QR code and it'll take you to the store so you can come to Whatnot. But really and truly, leave a comment if you didn't catch live and just talk to me. How do you feel about social emotional learning? Are you afraid of it? Have the woke police scared you? Have the book burners scared you into thinking that social emotional learning is not for you? Oh, all right. So I want to focus the conversation because I have to get back to homeschooling. I have to get back to my baby girls. So I don't have all day, but I do want to talk to you about social emotional learning, why I love this tool, how to use this tool. All right. And then I'm going to come back. So you come back. I'm going to come back and talk to you about how you can recreate this tool for free, because I'm all about just sharing really good resources. So, first things first, I want to give credit where credit is due. I did not make this tool. You can shimmy on over to lakeshore.com and you'll see that they sell these as a classroom set. So if you're a classroom teacher, you're good to go. You can go ahead and pop onto Lakeshore Learning, and I'm trying to hold it up so you can just make this yourself if you want. I guess you don't have to stick around for that. And the thing about it is, maybe not so much for the homeschoolers, or maybe because you took that leap to homeschool, you do feel like you have that creativity, which is something that you will need to unleash. It's really the only prerequisite for homeschooling is that you're willing to be creative with your children. That's really all you need, because the rest of it truly does write itself in one way or another. But yeah, you can totally just recreate this. Make sure you label the faces that you create and that you pre-teach those faces with your learners so that they're clear on how it is that you want them to express themselves. So you guys have that common language And I think that's why I like this tool so much, is that it presents that common language for a learner. All right. So sometimes we use language so casually. Oh my goodness, Marissa, you're being so silly. Marissa, calm down. We just want to make sure language we use all the time is the language that our little learners can own. So if you were to recreate this, I would totally just do that. Make sure, especially when the emotions are pretty close, that you talk about the nuance between irritated and angry. Just things that you would want, even if you were to purchase this, just things that you would want to introduce and model for a learner if they haven't used it for a while. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is leave a little bit of space so that they can explain why. This is where the actual emotional intelligence is being developed. So it's not just being able to identify their feeling, and to get your attention and, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Because if we let them, the kids are going to do that. They're going to want to take back some of the power, and pay attention to me. This is how I feel. And it's the most important thing in the world. So we want to move them past that stage of that is wonderful. Look at how you identified your emotions. I'm so proud of you. You're that means you're getting bigger, and that should make you feel powerful. So once you walk them through that, immediately move into why do you feel this way? Because we want them to take ownership of their feelings. And I think that's going to tie into the larger discussion of why, if you're not making social emotional learning a big deal in your classroom, in your home classroom, you should be. Because even if you are past when social emotional learning is part of the curriculum, so we're talking about, even if they would be, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, they still need that social emotional learning, that social emotional intelligence, if you want them to do anything. So you will probably know that this is true. It could be that they are not ready for what you're teaching. So it's nice when you're at home, you can just pivot to something else, but when your learner has shut down. And sometimes we try to just push them through, and I just want to get through this lesson. So listen to the rest of it. But again, thinking about the foundation of that is lack of power, lack of communication. So social emotional learning is tied to classroom management. And as long as you'll need classroom management, you will need to center social emotional learning. All right. So teaching cheap, can you just recreate this? Yes. Can you pop into my store and buy one at a time? Yes. And of course, you can go on over to Lakeshore. They're going to sell you 30 at a time. But if you pop into my store, you'll get one of these. You'll have a copy of the instructions, how they tell you to use it. And then of course you can come visit me every Monday, look at the archives if you want. And I'm going to throw in a marker. You don't get that from Lakeshore. All right. And you can come back here and really learn how to use the tool, because this is not stuff that you're going to get from the Lakeshore directions. These are just notes from a very, very obsessed, but if I may say so myself, gifted teacher who just wants to share and build community. So talk to me about social emotional learning. I don't know if you are into it. Is it something that the woke police scared you about? Because it can be scary. We don't want to do the wrong things for our children. So let me know where you're at with it. Hopefully, I've said something that will encourage you to think about it for what it really is. And it's just developmentally, as our children move through different stages, as they grow up. It's just a way to harness what's happening into language that translates to us being able to teach them. A lot of times when I did coaching and modeling, that's what it is. And I let at the time, who I'm working with, I let them know, I wouldn't say clients, but who I'm working with, the teachers are sometimes brilliant. And that. You put a lot of time into lesson planning. You have your good jokes. You make it fun. You take advantage of the fact that you're unschooling. They're not trapped in that classroom with someone who doesn't really know your little learner the way you know your little learner. But sometimes the kids just aren't learning. So you have this thing it's like you're teaching, but they're not learning. And a lot of that, some of that is, I would say all of that is really, really frustrating because it's not you. It's not the content. It's not the curriculum. It's not you. It's the learner. And that's that hidden curriculum. That's what is just happening with that 8-year old, that they cannot pay attention to you because something else is on their mind. But if you had a way for them to, hey, let's just stop. Let's do an activity that we know how to do. We do this often every day. This is suggested as a daily check in. I use this with my daughter whenever she wants to use it. So we have that routine set up. If she wants to communicate something to me, she'll gesture towards that. But the idea is, hi. But the idea is that you want to give that, in my example, that 8-year old an opportunity to say, before you talk to me, okay, about multiplication facts, I don't care if you want to sing about it. I don't care if you bring a toy out. I really want to talk to you about what's going on with me. So, just that opportunity for them to, again, one, this is what's happening. This is why that's happening. And now let's move on. What do? We pour it out what's in their bucket. Kids get full too. They're little stressful little lives. So they need that ability to take a moment to pour some out before you pour some in. So I highly, highly recommend, whether you use this tool, whether you recreate the tool on your own because you can, or if you're already doing something, keep doing it. Don't stop just because they leave toddler stage, just because they are now kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. Talk to them about processing their emotions. All right, I think the magic happens at the bottom. I've never seen this on a sale tool. I think this is just so amazing. To include language that asks a child, "How did you sleep?" I think this is something again that we might ask a learner just because, especially from a homeschool crew, that's our baby. So we want to know, how did you sleep? And we'll ask you that just out of courtesy. But if you're in a classroom setting, it's not something that a teacher would normally ask a child, how did you sleep? I mean, it's something that a teacher will muse about. But okay, here goes Sally, sleep again. So we know how Sally slept last night. Sally didn't get enough sleep. And then depending on how much sleep you got, you're gonna go to Sally's parents and tell Sally's parents, get this girl to sleep on time. I'm tired of her sleeping and I can't sleep, so she can't sleep. So at home, it's the same thing. If your child is obviously cranky, but what I like about this tool is that instead of it being observational, right? It's the child kind of keeping track of and keeping diary of how they're sleeping. So I just think that's wonderful because that's something that we again want them to own. We want them to have some power in understanding um, biotech, true biotech, which is how your body functions. So, what's the point of regulating your emotions if you can't regulate how your body functions at its peak performance and what that means to take care of it and be helpful? Regulating your emotions and also getting enough sleep. Sleep and dehydration. Those are big, big, big lessons that we want to teach our early humans. So I just think it's remarkable that this is going to not only give your kids that language to let you know, I didn't sleep that well. If you're doing this daily, a child is going to internalize that ability to monitor their sleep. And they're going to be able to intrinsically notice, gee, when I don't get enough sleep, it's hard for me to do even the things I want to do. It's hard to play. It's hard to pay attention in class. So the idea is that we have kind of that nudge for them, like you're seeing what's happening. I don't have to tell you, you're seeing what's happening. You can see that when you don't get enough sleep, you can't even enjoy your cartoons. So usually our littles are allergic to naps. We get it. They're going to miss out on something. I think maybe a lot of them are born with a little bit of FOMO, and they don't like naps. My daughter does not like taking naps, and some of that is because of some just like a medical issue, so she has like a legitimate reason to not like naps. But it's still important for me. I this is what this and what's going to happen on the back. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. This is why I went ahead and bought the tool. This was so important. I, sooner rather than later, have to get my daughter to understand how important sleep is, because I cannot sleep for you. I can't take the nap for you. I need you to own it, and to just love, love, love sleep on your own. All right. Ta da! Now we see the back of it. So if you're, I'll hold it still. So if you're trying to recreate this, you can. So the next activity on the sale tool is to pick a peaceful activity for the day, and then also to pick the note to self. All right. So let's take it. Hi guys. Hello. No clothes, but we're talking all things homeschool. How are you? Hi. Just learning and educational toys and me running my mouth about homeschooling. So thank you for joining. Do you guys homeschool? Do you know anyone who homeschools? Hi. All right. So, the let's see. So let's see. Want to try to. Okay. You do. Let's see. You have an almost 4-year old. The hubby and I are thinking of homeschooling. Public schools are getting too scary for us. It's a state of emergency. Absolutely. I'm so glad that something in yourself and your spirit pushed you to that. Go for it. Go for it. For me, what I tell all of my friends, anyone that will listen, I'm literally on a mountaintop screaming it. You are already your child's teacher. You are already doing the job. Little do you know it, you're already doing the job. And all you need is a willingness to just regress a little back into childhood. They just need your imagination. That's it. You don't have to be an expert in any of the subjects. It's 2025. There are so many resources for us. You can do this. If you, I look at it as an investment, therapy later, homeschool now. Therapy later, homeschool now. And I know for a lot of people they're not able to. So when you popped in, we were just talking about weight. Yes, I want you to buy this for me. I'm serious. I know. I want you to buy this, but I'm also like, this is how you can make it at home, because sometimes that's what the barrier is. The barrier is if you're in a two-parent situation, maybe one parent can't afford to stay home, and it becomes that. So again, I just want to contribute to the cause. You can make this if you're willing to be creative. You can totally make this at home. All right. So this was another reason, besides asking how did you sleep and getting our kids to internalize why that's important. I can't take a nap for you, but if you recognize it's hard for you to play with your toys, it's hard for you to do anything that you want to do, let alone what I want to talk to you about in school, if you haven't had enough sleep. So just getting them to be able to, over time, consistently monitor their own sleep. I love, love, love that. And then on the back, they get to pick one peaceful thing to do a day. And I love this idea of teaching the intentional breathing. Hear me out. Yes, I'm in California, but I'm not going to pull out granola just yet on this episode. And I'm sorry, but I do have on Birkenstocks. But I don't want this to be too much of like, I don't want this to be like a hippie thing. This is seriously, again, another one of those. I actually want to teach biotech. All right. Think about it. Hear me out. This is biotech. So the earlier they understand how their body works, the earlier they can push it for performance for anything that they want to do. So again, sleep is not just for school. Sleep is so you can have energy to play. Your body needs sleep. Just like what your brain needs is oxygen. So, taking that moment to calm down, stretch out your breathing is a way you can empower your kids. So, not freaking them out, not thinking about it in this really weird way, but just a really solid classroom management tool. You would be surprised. All right, do it with me. Take a sip of coffee or whatever you're drinking. I'm not judging. Mhm. All right. So, we're going to start and you just talk them through it. And this is nice and interactive. You can make it, fun for them. So they'll just breathe in, hold it. All right. Breathe out. Slow exhale. Get ready to breathe in. Hold it. Get ready to breathe out. Last time. Get ready to breathe in. Hold that breath and breathe out. You've just grown dendrites in your child's brain. Yeah, Google that one. Yeah, the brain needs oxygen. And when you take that type of a brain break where you just get them to concentrate on breathing and get in oxygen, they're ready to go, just like that. You are qualified. Yes, think more positive. Yes, 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 you're qualified. And you're already doing the job. Most importantly, you're already doing the job. Talking is teaching. So everything that you've been doing is already teaching her about the world. Sometimes when they go to school, right, that's where the message fights. This is the indoctrination they're getting, and these are the values you may hold as a family. So it is an important decision, but you're on the right track. That's right. And be confident. We're in community with each other. We'll be sharing ideas with each other before long. All right. So this is awesome, awesome for them. And I'll read to you the ones that you can't see. One of the activities is the breathing, but then they also have you do things like think of a person you appreciate, be kind and help someone, think of something you are grateful for, stretch for 5 minutes, right? Close your eyes and use your other senses to take in your surroundings. What do you feel? What do you hear? And what do you smell? All right. And then at the bottom, I love, love, love this. This is another easily adaptable so that you can use this tool. I say for 4-year-old, you're going to want to do a lot of heavy modeling, probably at early 5 as well. And then you can just also extend it and kind of go a little bit deeper so that an older learner can get a lot of value out of this as well. So for notes to self, these are cool. You just pick one, and I think for a younger learner, it's okay to kind of just teach them what that means to be positive about themselves and to have positive language and to repeat it over and over again. So I think it's okay that they repeat, and they're positive self-talk that you want to hear your children saying about themselves. I can do hard things. I am kind. I am friendly. I matter. I am brave. I am lovable. I believe in me. And you can totally use this as classroom management. So when my daughter picks one and she's 5, I rewrite it on a post-it. And so that's part of our learning goals for the day. And so if she's doing something and it doesn't look very kind to me, I tell her, but that doesn't look kind. You told me you were kind. That doesn't look kind. So whatever it is, it's just kind of a way to refocus. And you're not embodying that behavior. And, we said it loud and proud this morning. Love self affirmations. Exactly. Right. Yeah. So, and sometimes, right? Because this is just like outside of homeschooling, you already know as a parent, yes, sometimes you're saying it to yourself. You can do this. You got this. We can make it. So I love, love, love this tool. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm trying to figure out, I'm running my mouth. Let's see. How do I pull it in? Let's see. Trying to figure out. Top. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay. We have a couple of minutes left. I'm going to see if I can try to figure this out so I can get the tool in here. How do you give me 1 minute? Talk to me in the chat if you just joined. Are you a homeschooler? All right, let me see. Huh. I don't know. I did something wrong, guys. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. So next time I'll have this all figured out. I think I did something that I did not know how to do. All right. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Come back Wednesday around the same time. Let me check my notes because I took notes. And the good thing is, I didn't talk about anything on the notes. That's crazy. Wow. Oh, yes, I did. Since it, no. Do we talk about power important to children? No, I don't. Oh, okay. Well, I did take notes, so that's good. We're going to talk about this on the next show. Please pop into the store. I'm going to figure the store part out. So I'll see you on Wednesday. Bring your coffee, bring your questions, and tell your other homeschool friends, or even if you're just thinking about homeschool, like my new friend, come on and join us. It's your homeschool homegirl. Let's figure this out together. See you next time. Bye. Thank you.